When I look around this room, I see people who have strutted their stuff out here with great aplomb. And I'm going to start with Wayne Schwatta, three-time best and fairest, twice at North Melbourne, once at the Sydney Swans, premiership player. He's done the lot, calling alongside myself. Hello to you, Schwatta.
Hello, Jim. Touch flat, though, when two of our colleagues greeted me tonight with, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, well, that's mainly because the Duke's wiped us like a dirty one, and we'll get to that, because I think there's a young man who's getting ahead of himself just slightly. The Chief, four-time premiership player with the Hawks. Hello to you, Chief.
Hello, Jim. I wasn't one of those two.
No, Chief, which surprised me.
And Garry Lyon, a six-time All-Australian, former superstar captain of the Melbourne Football Club. Hello to you, Gaz.
Yeah, Jim, I was one of them, and great to be here. Absolutely sense of anticipation that as old sort of gnarly ex-footballers, not you, Warrior, you can get a little bit jaded, but not tonight. This is going to be something special, and it's going to be packed to the rafters, and there's going to be ramifications at the end of it.
Well, I'm going to ask the newsbreaker extraordinaire, the purple-headed Warrior, what is the headline going to be tomorrow?
Yeah, I reckon it relates to those expectations that Garry refers to with Richmond. You got two new captains, a new coach, but to me, the story coming out of it in the big way is that expectation factor around Richmond, and if they can respond to it tonight, well, they'll be on the way to hoping 2013 ends differently to their previous 10.
Get yourself up, Warrior. This is the season opener.
It sounded a little flat.
Just line and link stuff.
I'm really
on a
excited.
night like this, don't trot that stuff out.
It was, we were looking for Jimmy Pattinson, and it was a little Moses on Reeks for me, purple.
Look, a few things that I saw in the NAB Cup Grand Final, I reckon would be concerning for Carlton heading into this match.
What?
Oh.
Just trying to get the joint up.
Was that like, could you please elaborate?
What?
Well, I
Well, it's a
don't
big
like.
statement.
Yeah, well, it is, and I don't like the way they moved the ball forward. They tried to get those long kicks deep into the forward line whenever they got 50, 60 metres out. They never hit the leading player. Is always long to talls, and then they got out-crumbed, and then they got beaten on a change of direction.
The talls aren't great.
So the lack of the kick forward.
It's the lack of blokes that can generally take a mark.
What did you make, Gaz, of the decision to not play Nick Vlosten? I ask because he had what was said to be a very, very good NAB Cup. You get to round one when the heat's absolutely on, and have they made a conservative decision in
I
leaving
think
him
they've
out?
done a Phil Hughes.
Protect him.
I suppose Damien
could still
Hardwick's
play.
saying, who are you kicking out?
All right.
That
well,
might be his argument.
Come on,
You go,
Warrior.
well, he's got to earn a spot in this team. Who goes out?
I was asking you the question.
you're not suggesting the push-up king.
You're not-
I am.
Oh, Jim,
Purple.
come on.
There are 80,000 piling in here, and a good 60 are coming in to see the push-up king.
And I'm glad he's playing.
Don't worry about that for a second.
And you're calling him.
Don't worry, it'll be sensational right there. Now, Chris Judd this year, Schwatta, tell me what we're going to see from him. And he's not being the captain anymore, and the age he is the expectation that he will come back to the field a touch, or that he'll be capable of playing at the level we've seen for the last decade?
He's 28, right? And he's had an interrupted pre-season.
Schwatta,
Yes, Gaz.
get your pen out.
Yes.
And your paper.
Right.
And write down the blokes writing him off. Who's writing him off, Jim?
No, I'm just asking what we
there
should
are-
expect to
There
see
are
from him.
people who suggest
Surely not.
There are.
Who?
And I don't know. We need to write
Well,
them.
name them.
Name him, Bob.
Now.
I'm trying to remember.
You questioned him last year a few times, though.
Oh, yes.
No, you questioned his impact. I'm not saying you wrote him off, but you questioned his
He's number
impact.
one man.
I know it is, but last year there was a shift in that.
He kicked Bambi.
Pretty right.
But that's what I'm saying. So the people querying him are entitled to. I would
You're
thought.
able to question his impact on a game from a 9.5 to an 8.
Well, okay, maybe
That's
the question
fair
when
away from 4.
it comes to Chris Judd, are we dealing with him now in the absolute elite bracket?
His best is behind him.
Okay, so therefore we
So
bring him
his
down a few
best
rungs. His best
was
is
a
what?
9.95. He's still going to be an 8.5, which is better than 85% of the comp.
Yeah. And 95% better than his teammates, Gaz.
Well, that's right. So stand by. I might have moved on. I've got another favourite.
Oh, have you? Who's that, Garry?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying Case Juddy's still coming
Joel
in the car
Selwood, isn't it?
with Rebecca after she's done this. He would have waited till she did the weather and then driven in. He doesn't have to get here too early.
Gary, tonight when we have a look at the Blues, we get to see your man Dennis, an unbelievably fast operator. As we saw, he ran down the danger on 3 occasions over in Adelaide.
And unlike some others perhaps in the media, we don't jump on the bandwagon, Jim.
We create the bloody thing. We build it.
That's right. And this was purely on the basis of his name
That's it.
that we climbed aboard our man Dennis. And he has some people wilt under that sort of pressure and expectation, and others grow. And he's grown. I noticed because I watch him as close as anyone. He has grown a new tat. He's got a big one on the arm. It's a lady. I think a lady probably has some significance, I would have thought.
Yep.
It's only one Dennis that plays for Carlton, isn't there?
Of course. There's only one Dennis
in the whole comp.
Well, just for anyone listening, it is Dennis Armfield.
That's the point,
That's what we
Chief.
said, Chief, at the start, Dennis
Armfield. No,
Armfield.
you just said Dennis.
No, I didn't.
I only call him Dennis.
He calls him
I've
Dennis.
never called him Armfield in his life.
No.
You've got to be inclusive here, Jim, that's all.
I love the name Dennis.
Can we wind that tape back, Chief? Right at the start of this conversation, he was called Dennis Armfield.
I got it from the producer.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at him.
Well, don't worry about
The
big
man has
nose.
got a nose hanging off the front of him, blocks out the sun.
No.
Just take it from me, Chief. He was called Dennis Armfield at the start of the conversation.
Okay.
And that's all you need to worry about.
And of course, it's great to
Well,
reconnect.
I think we are going to have to wind the tape back.
With
I'm getting told it's worth winding back.
Wind it back.
The producer's called you out, Jim.
Chris, yeah, have a listen to
well,
it.
that might be the end of him.
Chris
He might go curry style.
Oh, no.
And he's heading down that path anyway. I already got rid of him off one show. He might end up
So did I.
out the door.
And now we love Dennis, but again, what I want to know from you, Jim,
Yes.
because you, in terms of, for young men out there, young ladies and men who
Yes.
have aspirations to call in the media, the work ethic of you in terms of researching players
Yes.
and their background this summer.
That's it.
You and Schwatta are line ball, probably got your nose in front. Schwatta's slowly getting it.
That's it. Did a beautiful
So
job last Saturday night.
You would have been watching Push-Up from October.
I know. And speaking to him as well, I like to do some quiet work with Push-Up, make sure he's in a good place.
And where is his head at the moment?
He's had an interrupted off-season Push-Up.
Yeah, he's had about 15 operations.
He has. He's had operations, and he's just found it hard to get right up there. So I expect a performance from him tonight that sees him come in and out of the game at times.
No, well, let me tell you, Wangaratta, Richmond, Essendon, did he emerge off the... I think he may have even had the orange-purple sub-vest on and came on and just lit the joint up with his forward pressure.
That's it. That's what he does.
He didn't get it much, but forward pressure.
Forward pressure, Gary, and intimidation.
Yes, that's it.
Everyone knows he's around.
He may even wander over to Chrissy Yarran and just say, listen
Well,
here.
and that wouldn't be the worst thing to do. And they also not only know he's around, Gary, they know he's connected. And that's the thing with the Push-Up King. So what he says, he backs up. And that's the other bloke's got their mouth open, but you know she's hot air and wind with Push-Up. He's done some damage. Now,